The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
Coach Steele, thank you for spending some time with us this morning. I know you guys are incredibly busy. We got the holiday weekend coming up, and you've got, I guess it's kind of an important game, kind of a big game coming up on Friday, so I know you've got a lot of stuff happening. But let's get right into the heart of the matter here. I want to talk to you about something very, very topical, came across the wire last night, all the reclassifications with the PIAA. Have you had a chance to review that yet? I know I don't know if the ink's even dry on everything yet, to see that Bedford, I believe, is shifting to AAA in football next year. Is that correct?
Correct. I mean, we've looked at the numbers and, have a general idea what other teams in the area are in that specific class. But at this point in time, we're focused on Carson City. That stuff is not real important to us right now. In all reality, whatever it ends up being is what it is, and there's nothing we can do about it. So, we'll embrace it when we get to that point. But right now, that's not real important to us.
Gotcha. I think what we'll do is we'll wait till the dust settles on this season until we start on that. But I just wanted to get your opinion real quick on that as it happened last night. I mean, from the media standpoint, it really throws us a curveball because we're not sure. Hopefully the conference will stay intact. Hopefully everything will stay and where it's going or how it's been, and it's just going to maybe make for some different matchups come playoff time. But again, we'll hit that next year. Let's talk about the Bedford Bison this year. And before even the opening kickoff this year, even before the Ken Lancey game, it always comes across the wire for us. We're active on Twitter. We watch what you guys are doing on Twitter. And we noticed that, we see a lot of posts from the other teams. Hey, we're doing weight training. Look at all the weight that we're pushing around. Hey, we're doing 7-on-7 drills over here at this college. Hey, we're at this college camp right now. One came across from the Bedford Bison that I found particularly intriguing. Hey, look at the Bedford Bison football team at Children's Hospital. It's something that I didn't see the other teams doing. It's not saying that they didn't. It's something I didn't see them doing, but it was kind of unique to you guys. Was that something that you did as a coaching staff, the school did, or was that something of the players? I found it unique that, we're all about community here with high school football. The teams were with kids at the hospital.
Well, that was a collective effort on my part and some of our members of our booster club. We actually have a lady who is a former Bedford grad who works at UPMC in Pittsburgh in the pediatric oncology department, and they have what's called Fun Fridays, and they have different groups that come in and spend time with the kids at the hospital on Fridays. So it's presented to us as an opportunity. Actually, the first group went out without me. I was on vacation that weekend, but the next time we went out, and I was with them and along with another assistant coach, and it was just a great experience for our kids, and it's really taken off from there. The way that worked was there were a couple of different scenarios that we were involved in, and at one point in time there was some downtime there, and our kids went around and just visited different kids in their rooms. They made a bond with one particular young man, Andrew O'Neill, and this particular young man is battling neuroblastoma. And, we've done a lot of different things to try to help him and support him. We had him at one of our games here recently. So, I think it just testifies the type of program that we have as far as the kids in our program right now. I'd like to think that we're doing a lot of things right, both on and off the football field. And we volunteer for Habitat for Humanity. We do volunteer work with the Bedford Food Pantry, and we have a free football clinic for our young kids. I just like to hope that we do a lot of the things the right way, and developing young men of character and doing things the right way, and not being self-centered, and realizing there are things more important out there than just themselves.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when you say do things other than the self-centered stuff, and how sports in general, not just football, but sports in general, I believe helps to build solid citizens, young men, young women, and developing responsibility, things down the road like that, as well as community and being part of your community and helping others out. So we salute you for that. That was something, again, I don't know, maybe the other teams did do that. They didn't mention it on Twitter like you guys did, and that really sprung in my mind back in the springtime when we were putting everything together for this show. I said, if we get Coach Steele on, I'm going to ask him about that because I was very impressed by that. Now let's move into the 2015 season. I don't know if you've seen our show and how we have our setup here with the conference champion of Bishop Guilfoyle from last year. And I need to ask you if we can borrow a helmet come at the end of the season, because we're going to have both a purple helmet and the blue and white of Bedford here on our set. We like to have the helmets of our conference champions from the Laurel Highlands Conference here. I've asked the other coaches this, and again, I don't want to beat this down because I know we have a lot of people saying, oh, he's asking the same questions, but I think this is important. Would you like to play Bishop Guilfoyle this year and settle it to see, who's the better team?
I knew that question was coming from us. I think coaches have watched the discussion with Coach Wheeler and how they said he was talking a little bit of smack on us and thinking that they would win. So, it would certainly be great. I think the fans would love it. Our kids would love it. Their kids would love it. But at this stage of the game, it's just not possible. Everyone would love it. We would look forward to the opportunity. I think we would like our chances. I'm sure BG would like their chances. It'd be great football, great players, great coaches. It'd be an awesome atmosphere similar to Somerset BG last year. But, just the way it worked out this year is not going to happen. So it's a little disappointing. It's great to be champions. When you add that co there, it kind of doesn't make it quite as great, but obviously there's nothing we can do about that, so we'll enjoy it for what it is and move forward and get ready for Karn City. Would
you like to see a conference championship game, or are you just like at that point, let's just get and move towards a district?
Well, I think that goes back to what you said earlier. Right now, with the district playoffs being kind of unknown with the six classes and everything, I think it would be wonderful. But at the same time, those other teams that aren't playing for the conference championship, what do you do with that? Look at the Westpac and some of the things that they've done. I don't know if that's the best choice. So it would be great, particularly in years like this, like last year, where you have teams that are, in my opinion, two clear-cut favorites in the conference, obviously based on the records. And, even before the season, I think those were very similar as far as the picks. But, with the way the playoffs are and the different things that conferences hold us to, I just don't think it's possible at this point in time.
In 2015, the conference obviously has a lot of great teams in it. Of the teams that you played, who was the toughest team, not just to play, but to prepare for? Because we see so many different styles and types of offenses and defenses throughout the conference. Who was the toughest for you to prepare for in 2015?
Well, that's a tough call. I mean, some offenses are more difficult to prepare for than others. A lot of that has to do with the athletes that they have on the field. As I was saying before, I think Johnstown presents a lot of problems defensively just because of the athletes that they have on the field. In addition to that, Somerset would be in a similar boat with Heupel and Barnes and the guys that they have. They certainly present some problems with their offense as well. And, Heights played us very tough this year as well. We didn't really bring our A game to that particular game, but they were physical. They got after us a little bit at times on their side when they were on offense, so we didn't necessarily have our best night there, but I thought they played pretty well against us as well.
Let's move to the playoffs. Chestnut Ridge for the district title. Once again, just like last year, a rematch.
Fourth down, and Chestnut Ridge is going to go for a field goal here with less than 2 minutes to go. Sean Van Meter, that kick, long, 42 yards, and it is good. The Chestnut Ridge Lions have upset top seed Bedford and win the District 5 AA championship.
You guys have a little bit of revenge on your mind there? I mean, maybe as a coach you're going to stay politically correct and say no, but in the locker room I'm sure it had to be bouncing around with the players.
Well, I think revenge, sorry to interrupt you, I think revenge is more so in the kids' mind than the adults' minds. Every year is so much different. The kids certainly didn't like how things ended up last year. We thought we kind of let one slip away from us there. So the kids were looking forward to get back out in the field and, get another chance at them. And, we certainly played relatively well. We could have played better with some turnovers and some penalties, but at the end of the day, as we said earlier, it's about moving forward and getting ready for the next week and continuing to play. So we got the W, and we're looking forward to get back on the field Friday night against Karn City.
42-7 win over Chestnut Ridge. I bring up 42 because in studying the Karn City Gremlins, who are also 11-0 at this point, I tell you, I believe you two are the most evenly matched team that we've seen, or probably the most evenly matched opponent you guys have seen this year, just in what I've seen with them, a little bit of studying and looking at the stats and everything. But they've scored over 40 points in every game that they've played this year. So what I see out of them, you guys have some size on them, but boy, they got a lot of speed, and man, can they execute. The plays that I've seen, it's not perfection, but everybody was hitting the helmet they were supposed to hit, and they got some speed out of the backfield. How do you guys prepare for them?
Well, you don't get to be 11-0 by accident. That means you have good players, you have good coaches. So they certainly present some challenges. They're a run-first offense. If they have the choice, they're going to pound you running the football. So that's going to have to be job number one for us, stop their running attack. And, if we can do that, force them into some play-action passing or drop-back passing, that's a win for us. So that would be job number one. Defensively, they give you a bunch of different looks. They just don't allow you to get comfortable in the different looks in fronts that they're showing. And they're very aggressive. They run the football well. They have some good athletes, and they certainly present some challenges. But as we've been telling the kids all week, when you get to this point, you're not going to be playing teams that aren't very good. From here on out, teams are good, they're well coached, and they're going to present challenges in a lot of different areas.
We hope you go all the way, but eventually the 2015 season is going to come to a close, and when it does, you're going to have a number of what we believe you're going to have somewhat of a vacuum there that you're going to have to fill. Look at the names you're going to have to fill: the Montgomerys, the Cooks, guys that are big players on both sides of the ball. You're going to have to fill those holes, and some of these players have played as starters and have played very well as starters since they were sophomores. That's 3 years of them starting. It's something that goes on in scholastic and collegiate sports all the time, where you have people graduate, they move on, and you have to fill the hole. You have a lot of holes to fill from a lot of starters, a lot of guys have played a lot of time. How do you as a coach try to balance keeping players in, keeping them experienced, winning the games, and also maintain some level of experience getting for the guys that are going to be coming up behind them?
Well, we've tried to manage that as best we can. Obviously, these seniors have been a fantastic group, and you can't use enough positive adjectives about the way that they've played. They've been exceptional. I think their home record the last 3 years is 26-4. There's something to be said about that and the way that they've played for 3 years. And with that being said, we've tried to work guys in within practice sessions and different routines with a bye week and different teams that we played that we thought were a little bit more superior than, and we've mixed a bunch of different guys in during the course of the games. Also with blowing some teams out, that gives you an opportunity to give some kids experience. Are we going to have the athletes next year that we have now? No, we're not, but I don't think too many other teams in the conference will either. But I think we'll still have some guys that can play football. We're not just going to lay over and play dead just because all those guys graduated.
Well, Coach, we know, as I said, the holidays here, and we know you have a lot to do with the Gremlins coming up. We hope you have great success with them and take it all the way, and I'll be down some point to grab a helmet from you so we can put it on our set here. Congratulations on a great regular season, solid playoff run, and we look forward to many more wins from the Bedford Bison this year.
Thank you very much. I look forward to giving you that helmet. You guys do a great job covering high school sports. I think it's great for the kids, great for the communities, so thanks for having me on, and keep up the good work.